August 1st, 2025. I woke up almost an hour before my alarm, which was an early alarm, like 7:45 or something, so that I could get to the oil change place by 8. I think I woke up around 6:45, maybe close to 7. Naturally, it was really strange. There was no sound or whatever. Kind of annoying, but whatever. That kicked off my day. Went to Grease Monkey for the first time, the one nearby. It was good. Yeah, I like that place. Got the oil change real quick, 20 minutes or maybe less, maybe 15. Went back home, packed up the stuff, and was on the road by about 8:45-ish maybe to Arizona. And yeah, I liked the route it took me. One of my favorite, more scenic routes, going through sort of eastern Utah. Popped me out into Colorado for a little bit and New Mexico before curving back into Arizona. And I think I'd seen most of the path, but there was some stretch of it, I think the Arizona stuff mostly, that I had not seen before. Oh, excuse me. So in general, the scenery was very cool. There was one little spot where a thunderstorm came through, so that was kind of cool. I saw some lightning strikes and drove right at them, drove right through them. And there was like the rain was hitting the road and it looked like it was fogging into this white mist sort of. I don't know that I've seen that exactly. I tried to capture it on the phone here, as you'll see, but it's kind of unclear that it doesn't exactly look how my eyes saw it. Very interesting. I made a pretty good time. I only had to take one nap, which is kind of strange. 1 24-minute nap. Still in the middle of Utah even. After that, I just kind of made my way down. Gas mileage was really good in the car. Close to 500 miles one tank. That was nice. I think I kind of average in the low 400s, high 300s, sort of in normal traffic conditions. So that was nice to get, better gas mileage. Yeah, and then after I got here around 7, a little before 7, I think. So a little under 9 hours, including the nap, which was nice. I think the GPS initially estimated 9 for the trip, so I did better than 9, and that's throwing a 24-minute nap in there and my 2 gas stops. So yeah, I made pretty good. Might have been closer to 8 if I had not taken the nap, something like that. Yeah, after I got here, I went to dinner at the venue. I had a delicious burger. It was the venue's really small, but it should be fun tomorrow. And then came to the Airbnb. This is where I'm at now. Not that there's much to show here. It's just kind of a basic little place. And settled in, kind of worked on one of my edits. Not graphic stuff. I just brought my laptop this time so I could work on an edit. I got the first draft done and just kicked that off a little while ago. And chatted with Chad, who is a new guy to me, but an old-time arm wrestler, just kind of getting back into the sport. He and his family got here a little while ago, also staying with Russian or Ukrainian. He said he speaks both, so I'm not sure which he is. He's using the other room. And yeah, that's, we're bunking together. I mean, we each have our own room, but we're in the Airbnb together. Yeah, and I guess that's the bulk of the day. So the deep thought I had that I'll talk about today is, I don't know, it's not exactly deep thought, but I was listening to one of the podcasters I occasionally listen to, and man, does he talk fast. He's British, but he also talks extremely fast. And it was making me think about how, in some ways, that probably increases his appeal, and not because he's the most easy to understand person, but he's easy enough to understand. He's fairly articulate despite the semi-blazing speed that he speaks. But it just it made me think about how my my tendency in my communication, my own personal communication, is to really just speak at the speed at which my brain can like perfectly articulate the thoughts that I have, so that I am as efficient and clear as possible in general. And as a result, as if you've paid attention to any of my older videos, I just talk really slow. Not that I'm trying to be monotonous or trying to be slow or even trying to be not entertaining, but it's just it's for the purpose of clarity, and I'm really kind of obsessed with trying to be well understood rather than maybe haphazardly composing my thoughts for the sake of speed and kind of, being a little unclear about the message I'm trying to convey. But I think that's a practiced thing for sure. As I do this more and more, obviously, I'm a little better at speaking at a more normal pace now. I'm not blazing fast, but maybe I'm closer to just a more typical talking speed, the typical conversational talking speed, I might say. And it made me think about how the element of speed, I think, as I was mentioning earlier, it might be an entertainment thing just because it kind of keeps the viewer on edge a little bit. Like they're having to almost, work to keep up with the pace of the communication. So in a sense, it sort of fires that kind of trigger in your brain that makes you kind of feel like you're learning a little bit because you're actually having to use your brain just to keep up with the pace of the information that's flying at you. So at least that's kind of how it works for me. It's sort of entertaining because I feel like I'm kind of playing a game just to try to keep up with what's being said. So I am actively trying to increase my pace. It is a thing that will take practice for sure. I could just talk fast and try to just ramble. And most of this is all, off the cuff. So it's not like I'm well practiced at fast off the cuff kind of improvisation in my speech. In general, I communicate pretty well. I have fairly decent verbal skill, but I'm not at that high pace of speed that some of the YouTubers that are probably more, that just have more of a following, more entertaining, more, I guess, easy to fit the algorithm in a sense. I don't fit that. So I think definitely it takes practice. I'm sure maybe all those guys, maybe they just do that in real life, in their regular life, because they're not as concerned with making unclear communication at sort of a habit in their lives. Although maybe they don't care about the speed and they just think it's going to be clear anyway, and they just kind of bullishly, push through. I don't want to be that guy, but I do want to speed up. I do want to improve the pace of my articulation. So, as you can see, if you've paid attention at all, this is definitely a faster pace video for me in general. And I'm going to try to keep it up. It's obviously not going to be easy, but again, it's a practice thing. So that's my deep thought for the day. I guess the call to action that relates to that is just do something hard. And even if it's not something that you think you can be good at, that doesn't matter, just do it. And I think the act of trying to do it more and more, you're just going to improve. Not that I feel like I've improved a lot, but I do feel like I've improved. So, of course, I'm doing this daily. That definitely helps. Anything that you want to do better, do with regular consistency, and you'll improve at a faster rate. But here I am. I'm a 47-year-old man, getting old, long in the tooth, and I can still improve and get better at things. So there we have it. Hopefully that was enjoyable. Hopefully you enjoyed the scenery of the trip and the little bit of video that I got there. And we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Tomorrow's my big match. And I might get smashed, but maybe I'll win. We'll see how it goes. All right, take it easy, all. Until next time.